Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look and installing a Curt Trailer Wiring harness on a 2012 Subaru Outback. Here I have it just kind of sitting in this little pocket, which is totally fine, but the great part about living in the vehicle is you can actually hide this under the cabinet here, and it's out of sight. You'll never know what's there until you need to use it. Now, when hooking up to your trailer, you're simply going to run this out of the hatch. Now, make sure you don't have it in the actual latch here so it doesn't pinch. Try to keep that flat. We'll just go ahead and close this down. So now you're able to hook up and you're going to have signals going to your trailer. Also included in the kit is a dust cap. So if you're going to have this living outside of your vehicle for just a little bit and you don't want this to get all dirty, you can actually cap that up. It also is dual purpose at times. You can hook this on your safety chain loop and keep this in place. 4-pole connection is going to give you all your necessary lighting when pulling a trailer. So that's going to let the people behind you know when you're turning, when you're braking, or when your lights are on. It's going to keep you safe and legal. The install is very simple. I know wiring can be a little scary at times, but this one simply plugs into a factory plug that's there. It goes together very easily and can be tucked away. All it takes is some pulling off a little bit of interior panels, but I'm going to walk you through how to do it. So let's take a look at that. Our trailer wiring is going to live inside the vehicle. So to begin the installation, we're going to need to gain access to that factory plug. We're simply going to open up our hatch here, and it's going to be located back behind here. So we are going to need to pull all of this out. So go ahead and take out your floor mat as well as this cover as well. Also going to pull this little carpet piece as well and set that aside. Now you'll see we do have some plastic push pins on this foam material here, so we're going to need to remove these and then pop this out. You may have to move your jack handle to gain access. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a trim panel removal tool to get these popped out. Now if you don't have one of these, you can also get away by using a flathead screwdriver and then just prying up. And they do have a little tension on them, so just be careful. There we go. Now set these aside so you have them for later. From here, you may have to lift on the center foam. And that kind of just slides out. And set this aside as well. Now we're going to pull out this center storage compartment, and our plug is going to be sitting back here, so we're also going to have to get this center panel out as well. Now this center push pin fastener is going to need to come out. Now you're going to want to fold your seats forward, and to get this center panel out, you're going to pop this portion of the carpet up, and this one as well. It just sits in a little bit of a channel, so if you can get underneath it to pull it up, might take a little bit, but using my trim panel tool, I think I can pop it out. There we go. Now with those tucked back, you're going to see push pin fasteners here and here. You're going to want to remove those as well. With those out, that's going to gain us a lot of access here to tilt that forward. So our plug is going to be tucked under here. It's going to be right on the left of this hook. It's kind of hiding under here, so it may be tricky to see, but we're going to need to unhook that to put our wiring harness on there. If you're able to access your plug and unplug it, go right ahead, but if you do need a little bit of extra room, this little cargo holder hook there can also be pushed down and the plastic pried open. And we're going to see this little bolt here, so we'll go ahead and remove that, and that's going to open this up, allowing us to get our plug. With my 10mm, I'll go ahead and loosen this up. And this plastic part is separate, so make sure you hold on to that so it can go back to its OEM look. So now we can pull this back and easily get to our plug. Now it's going to be hard to see here, but I was able to pry this down, and it is a white plug, so it's going to help kind of stand out a little bit. And this should be enough room for us to attach our trailer wiring. So now we're going to grab our wire harness, we're going to grab the plug and simply connect the two. Now there is only one way that this can go. As you can see, there are some slots here, so make sure you have the proper orientation and clip that into place. It's going to be hard for me to show you this just because there's not a whole lot of wiring hanging down. With that hooked up, you're going to see there is a white wire hanging off of here. Now this is going to be your ground, and we're going to be mounting this to the chassis with a self-tapping screw. So finding a nice good spot for this to ground, you have plenty of real estate here. So, and if you want to move it to a spot that you know is for sure good, nothing's below it, you can actually peel this back a little bit to give you a little more room. So I'm going to check underneath here, just make sure that there's nothing underneath that a screw could maybe puncture. But other than that, I might run a little pilot drill and we'll put that self-tapper in. I'm also going to mount this nice and close in, and that way it's not going out too far because we are going to be tucking these wires. Now when putting your ground wire on, you're going to see the ring terminal does have a flat side. You're going to want that sitting against the metal. With self-tappers, you want it tight, but also you don't want to go too much as it can actually ruin the threads that it makes. So tighten it down to where the wire can't move, and it should be plenty fine. Now we're going to take our fuse that was included in the kit and place this in your fuse holder. Go ahead and cap that up. And now we can tuck these wires underneath this interior trim and give it a nice clean look. Now we're going to come down to our module box here, and there's double-sided tape included in the kit, and we're going to just mount this in a nice spot that's also going to be hidden. And I'm thinking back here might be a good option, and that way it doesn't interfere with any of the interior panels. So I've taken that double-sided tape and put it on the module box. Now I have it on the rear shock tower here, and that's nice and tucked out of the way. And really all that's doing is leaving our 4-pull and ready to hook up to our trailer. So we can actually tuck this away in our interior plastics and hang it out when necessary. So as far as the trailer wiring install goes, we're essentially done, minus putting the rest of the stuff back the same way we took it out. Before putting everything back though, you're going to want to check to make sure that the wiring harness is working. So we have a 4-pull tester here, and if you don't have one, we sell these here at eTrailer. And you can also test by hooking up to your trailer and checking the signals, your turn signals, your brake lights, as well as your corner lights. But sometimes with the trailer, if your trailer has a wiring issue, it may not be noticeable, and you might think it's your harness. So separating this and using a tester is going to be really nice because it's just testing the wiring system. So plugging this in, I'm going to run it through the light cycle and we'll be able to see if it's working. So first I'll start with our running lights. Next I will do left turn signal, my right turn signal, and then finally my brakes. With all of our interior panels put back in place, we are now ready to take our 4-pull and hook up to our trailer and get towing. And that was a look and installation of the Curt Trailer Wiring harness on a 2012 Subaru Outback. Thanks for watching.